Hello and welcome to more World War II 172 scale. We're looking at a troop or a platoon or a Zug of Panzer 3Js, then up for Afrika Korps sand. You can see they're all the same. They're very nice pre-made die-cast models. They're very heavy and they're cold to the touch. They have a little bit of plastic parts, but a lot of metal in there. They come in neat display cases if you wanted to leave them in there. And they're very good for diorama display or wargaming. I got to get a Desert War set up. Hopefully, in the heat of the summer, it gets very hot out here. We don't have air conditioning in this room, so that's always fun. So it's fun to play the desert. I made some nice desert terrain. That's been packed away. I hope to get that out and make a little bit more of that. Let's move in closer and take a look at these. You can see some of them still have the moving antenna. Very nice. Got a nice layer of dust from sitting around. Very cool. There's that box that's always on the Panzers. Some nice tools, a jack, extra wheels. Very nice. The coaxial machine gun and the bow machine gun. And then they had the Zusatz armor, the added on armor for extra protection, because on the Mark III and Mark IV, they kept up-armoring it throughout their life. I think by the time they were done, they got up to 70 millimeters on the front of a Mark III, and they got to 80 millimeters on a Mark IV. For comparison, the regular Tiger I was made cast in 100 millimeters or 4 inches. It's very nice. And this is also was known by the British as a Mark IIIJ Special, because it's had the longer 50 millimeter. The Mark III started out with a short 37 millimeter. Then they moved on to a regular 50 millimeter. And then they went to the L60 in length, 50 millimeter. This is the same gun that's on the Puma armored car, except on that they added a muzzle brake. So this has a little bit of a punch, not as good as the Mark IV, but not too bad, especially for what it was facing in North Africa. And even the better tanks that they started getting, the M3 Lees and Grants, used by the Lees by American, Grants by the British, and then the Shermans that began arriving. This could still take those out, especially on side shots, so it still was serviceable. They used this vehicle as a frontline tank all the way into 43 and had a large number of them in Battle of Kursk. They wound up the ultimate version of this, the M and N versions. They went to the short 75 millimeter. They couldn't get the longer 75 millimeter because of the size of the turret ring. And the size of that was only on the Mark IV. So these are very nice. Have lots of Desert War tanks. Some pre-made, some very cool built ones that we'll get to in the future. Some have some commanders and men. Very nice. Love the Desert War. So we feature Desert War, Winter War, and then regular seasons. Alrighty. And North Africa, Italy, Russian front, and then the Northwest Europe, 44-45. More World War II 172 scale coming up. Thanks for liking and subscribing.